Hey guys, welcome. This is the September 2025 Love Tarot Monthly Energy Update coming at you. September is still a powerful month, but a lot calmer than we just came through. So if you're still hanging in here with me, yay, we made it through August. July and August was kind of a double whammy. But September will be decidedly different energetically. Still intense because we have the eclipse wormhole situation, but I'll walk you through it. What I'm going to do is start with Oracle. I'm pulling from Law of Attraction. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and this is a newer deck, so I'll walk you through it, and then I'll do the tarot spread, and then in part 3 I will go over the astrology for the month of September and sort of overlay it over the tarot spread so that you can kind of make the connections week by week through the month. Okay, that's the plan. Here we go. So this deck is sort of set up a little bit like a tarot deck in that it has major arcana and then 4 suits. So I'm going to pull one from the bottom. Yeah, this is a major arcana. It's coming through in reverse. It is the awakening card in reverse. That's like the tower, okay? Fear of change may be keeping you asleep to your true potential. Embrace the awakening process. And since we just came through Lionsgate, this is really specific to that energy of awakening, spiritual awakening. So if we have any residual fears of change, I have a feeling the eclipse portal, the eclipses will knock that fear away because it's kind of ready or not. Here we go. The next energy is also in reverse, gratitude. This is from the receiving suit. The receiving suit talks about your capacity to allow, trust, and let the universe deliver what is already yours. So if we have the gratitude card in reverse, it says focusing on lack may be limiting your manifestations. Celebrate what is already, right? And it sort of goes without saying that, you know, when we're coming from lack consciousness or scarcity mindset, we can't really manifest abundance from that vantage point. So it's always helpful to start with what we're grateful for. It gets us back in alignment. And it's a perfect message right before we head into eclipse season. And the last card is also in reverse, stillness, and also from the receiving suit. It says inner restlessness may be preventing you from receiving insight. Slow down. Okay, so for those of us that are coming off of the headwinds of July and August and all of the immense activity in the cosmos, it makes us a little restless. This kind of makes sense to me too, because we just get off one roller coaster, we're coming down off of it, and you know where you kind of get that nervous, agitated energy before you go up the other side, right? And that's sort of where we are. We're in this restless energy, knowing what we just came through, trying to catch our breath, and as we prepare for the next big climb up the roller coaster for the eclipse. Eclipse is 2 in this month. So I understand it. It's just reminding us to kind of calm ourselves, to be okay with stillness. It says, in stillness you align with clarity. Quiet the mind to hear the wisdom within. And the advice is take a moment today to pause, breathe deeply, and listen to your inner knowing. Okay, there's a little vibe here of the High Priestess. I'll read for you the gratitude message. It says, gratitude unlocks abundance. Recognizing what you have attracts even more blessings. So the advice is write down 3 things you are grateful for today. Shift your focus to appreciation. Yeah. And then the awakening message is you are stepping into higher awareness. A deep spiritual awakening is unfolding. The advice, spend time in reflection or meditation to tune into your inner wisdom and new insights. Okay, so we have awakening, gratitude, and stillness all coming through in reverse, which means we got to make it a priority. Okay, we cannot fear change. We don't want to focus on lack or scarcity mindset. And we want to calm our inner restlessness. All right? Perfect messages as we embark on a month with a black moon, a total lunar eclipse, and a partial solar eclipse. It's a lot, okay? And I'll get to that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is pull the spread, and this takes the month week by week, week 1, 2, 3, 4, for your person across the top, you in the center, and then the connection in the bottom row. We'll start with an overall energy as well. Yeah, hope those of you who celebrate are enjoying a nice holiday weekend. Happy Labor Day. Okay, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Three of Cups. So the overall energy is the Three of Cups. It feels sort of a little celebratory, a little more social. A cause worth celebrating may be the overall energy. And yeah, the way it's looking is definitely more on the positive side. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Beautiful. Yeah, a little bit of stumble, but oh, I love that we have in week 4, we've got 3 major arcana, the Sun, the Fool, and the High Priestess. So that feels pretty auspicious as we move toward the end of the month. The interesting thing is about this month that we really only have 20 days of celestial activity, of astrological things to pay attention to. 20 days. It starts tomorrow and then it clears out by the 22nd. So that whole last week of the month, we are free and clear of anything major happening in the cosmos. So I love that it offers us this powerful shift. So we'll pay attention to that. So as I said, maybe a cause for celebration, some get together, something social, something positive. It can be reconciliation oriented as well, the Three of Cups. For your person in the first week of the month, coming through with King of Pentacles energy, you coming through with King of Wands. And it's almost as if there's a little bit of sort of a little bit of a standoff, a little, you know, it's almost like you're wanting more passion, and you're getting the solid, stable, predictable, reliable, all the above. So you're getting that sort of, I'm here, I'm present, I'm with you from the King of Pentacles, but there's something more that you're after. And in the connection, we get the hint. We have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant talks about conventional committed relationships, the vows we make and take, the way we honor somebody, the responsibilities that we have to those we make promises to or commit to. Okay. And so we've got almost this sense, because this is Taurus and so is this. This Taurian energy can be a little stubborn like the bull, but it's steadfast, it's dependable. And sometimes we kind of like, we go like, do something, right? Like we want to get a rise out of somebody. That's where I feel your energy is. Remember, these 2 rows can be reversed, so that's fine. You know, depending on how you take the information in. Week 2, your person here, 9 of Swords. So there's something, some angst, something that this person will be processing, and maybe it drives them a little batty, right? They've got some worry, they have some anxiety. You're here with this, wait for it, Ace of Wands, right? What are you saying? Do something. Right? Take some action, show some passion, let's go. And I feel that kind of gets a rise out of them. Because in the connection, you're in this stalling for time energy with the 2 of Pentacles. Things are kind of up and down on the fence. Maybe it feels a little repetitive and you're waiting for a breakthrough. And the breakthrough certainly comes because your person shifts in week 3 into Lover's energy. Lovers is a card of choice. I say it over and over and people still still don't understand that. And there are choices that we make as humans, souls having a human experience. The human part has free will. That's why these two are not tied to each other like they are in the Devil card. That's why there's no restriction here. It's you are free to choose and or to opt out. And the Lover's card is one of those energies. It can speak to the spiritual bond. It can have themes around the twin flame dynamic, etc. But it is a card of choice. And I have a feeling that's this person moving from all this angst and all this nervous energy where they almost kind of can't focus on anything else, because you're like, let's go. And they're going to shift into the, well, I have a choice to make. And that may cause you in week 3 a little bit of hurt feelings. There could be some wounds around that if you don't get the rise out of this person in the time that you believe that you should. And again, that kind of falls in with expectations. So you want to get your gratitude on and be grateful for what you do have in the connection, value it, celebrate it. And try real hard in week 3, because that's the eclipse right there, to not let yourself get wounded by this person's process. Because in the connection, there's going to be some stuck energy. All right? There might be a little overthinking on their part. You might feel like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know my next best step because nothing's happening, nothing's changing, nothing's shifting. And then lo and behold, we get past the new moon in Virgo, which is a black moon because it's a second new moon in Virgo, and it's an eclipse. And right after that, we move into week 4, into Libra season. And look what we've got. They're focused on happiness. You're back in the game. You're kind of feeling like sprung in this brand new, exciting direction. And in the connection, it feels like you're both in this energy of really trusting your intuition when it comes to the connection. So that's the overall that I see. Nothing wrong with it, okay? It feels, like I said, like we got a few little bumpies, but we come through with flying colors in the end. It's really lovely. So let's see the 3 of Cups. 10 of Swords. So this is a reconciliation message. 4 of Swords, lots of healing for something that feels like it kind of ended painfully or has been a painful cycle, and then it's moving to calmer waters. So that 10 of Swords is actually probably what's going on here. Is there's some kind of energy where it might feel to you like something's, ending. It's not, but it might feel that way. And it can be very painful, and it can feel almost devastating because you're not getting the response or reaction that you're looking for or expecting. That is a 4-letter word in my vocabulary. Expectation. No bueno. Don't do it. 4 of Swords here is the healing of it through the reconciliation and the ability for the 2 of you behind the scenes to say, I am ready for the peace of mind here, and we came through this, and we're moving on. We're moving to calmer waters. Everything's, chill. So that's the overall for the month. Let me go for this person. I understand the King of Pentacles. I'm going to clarify the 9 of Swords to the Lovers. The World card. Ooh, Knight of Wands. And the 9 of Wands. Okay, this is actually good because what this person is really going to sort of struggle with week 2 and moving into week 3 is almost how to close out this difficult cycle. It's almost as if they get very preoccupied with what's been happening. And the World card is Saturn, so it's about lessons that we learn and how we process them, how we integrate them, so that we don't have to repeat them, right? That's the goal. And it's also about a new beginning, but that new beginning has to come at some other cycle's end. So this person is processing all that they've learned, all that you've been through, how, how this last cycle or whatever has been difficult and painful is kind of being integrated by them so that they can have this new beginning. But what I like is there's a turn here toward excitement, perseverance, passion that leads them into all that thought process for the choice that they make about this connection. It's almost as if you do get a rise out of them, but you don't know it because it's all happening behind eyeballs, right? But they're not giving up. There's this sort of like, yes, I want this, and I'm going to go for it. And then there's a little bit of a pulling back, and then there's a little bit of a pushing forward, and then there's a little bit of a pulling back. So I feel that that's just part of this person's process, but the good news is they are not going to quit no damn thing. It's just taking them the extra time to really process this important choice about this connection in specific. And then we go from week 3 to week 4, we have the Lovers and the Sun. There's the King of Wands. You want them, you'll get them. Okay? So turn that frown upside down, Page of Wands, very exciting, positive messages. End of the burden, right? This person is going to feel an enormous amount of relief because they are going to make that choice. That is that energy of, yeah, I know what I want. First, it's all the passion and the excitement and sort of, the impulse to kind of like, I gotta do something. And then it's like, and I know what I want, and I'm choosing it. And they choose you. And then we've got the Page of Wands, which is that laser focus on soul's delight. It's positive, it's exciting, it's flirtatious, it's fun. It's, all kinds of energy starts popping, and it comes as a great relief to this person, almost like a weight is literally lifted off their shoulders. And it floods them with happiness and all the beautiful energies of the sun. It's success. It's sort of like that energy of, when we come through a test or a trial, something that really tries us, and we're brought to our knees, or we're really in the deep of it. We want to make an important decision, and we want it to be the right one for all parties involved. Whoever this is absolutely a King of Pentacles, is absolutely somebody you can depend upon, and they don't want to hurt you. That's not the intention. They want to make the best decision for all involved. And that moment when you kind of come through that, it's like you feel like you've just been shot out of a cannon. Everything's happy, celebratory. The colors of the sky are bluer and the grass is greener, and you get my drift. That's sort of what this person comes through from week 3. Well, actually, week 2 to week 4. I mean, it's like a process. Yeah, I feel it. And you do get their attention, let me tell you. And so don't have any misgivings about that. So now for you, I want to look at the 3 of Swords, mainly 3 of Swords and the Fool. Week 3 to week 4. Ace of Cups. 5 of Cups. See, you're gonna be looking backwards. You're gonna be thinking of the past, and you're gonna think you're losing this person, but you're not. And there's the Queen of Pentacles to the King. So yeah, we're gonna have a temporary, a little bit in week 3 to week 4, a little bit of a, oh my gosh, am I losing this, right? Because sometimes a 5 of Cups is looking at mistakes of the past or regrets, something that you did or you said, or that did I push them too hard? Did I make too many demands? This is the love of my life. And the 3 of Swords isn't that you're going to be hurt by this person, but sort of, wounded by the process. And it takes you into your memories and looking backwards. And the Queen of Pentacles from the bottom of the deck is just an internal reference, right? It's unconscious awareness. Like, this could have been the person I walked through life with, and I may be losing it. But you come out on the other side with some optimism, right? As soon as they turn the corner, you turn the corner. So I'm going to get an extra card for you on this Fool. Show me the Fool. Seven of Cups. Yeah, the Seven of Cups is kind of talking for this particular position more about, you know, clearing away, leaping past all the confusion, the mixed messages, things that don't make sense or don't add up, or even the emotional upheaval. It's like you get that final breakthrough. I'm seeing this as the breakthrough. This is Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. Anything can happen and probably will, right? So it's that unexpected quality. And the minute you have that energy, you're like, yeah, I don't need to sit in my confusion anymore or in my emotional, you know, upheaval. I don't need to. It's a big breakthrough. I'm feeling a big breakthrough for this connection for all of you, provided, I mean, obviously you have to know your situation well. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It's a general reading, not a private reading, so there are going to be subtle nuances, obviously. But I do feel, on balance, it's a breakthrough month. So let's see. We've got the Two of Pentacles to the Three of Swords. Week 2 to week 3 is the tricky period for the month. That's when we're having eclipses. Queen of Swords, Tower. Yeah, that's and the Devil. So that's what happens here is things kind of are up in the air. It's what I'm getting from the Two of Pentacles. And there's a need for clarity, kind of like, just give it to me straight. I can almost hear you saying it. Come on, just give it, like, rip the Band-Aid off. Just give it to me straight. Is this whole thing falling apart? Something behind the scenes is in a little bit of shadow. There might be some control dynamics, right? Like there might be some, you know, power plays between the two of you because you want some change. You might, you know, be careful what you wish for. Eclipses are designed to bring instant change, like I said, shot through a cannon. And the Devil in the energy behind the scenes is that, you know, sort of, yeah, in my time, like that's what's coming from your person. And it's like, don't push me. You know, they kind of almost get more rigid and more resistant and more defiant and stubborn the more they're pressured. So you want to kind of be in that energy of gratitude, right? Right? Calm your inner restlessness, absolutely, because you've got this awakening energy. Fear of change may be keeping you asleep. Okay, so this person, there's some fear of change. And there may also be a reactionary response to pressure. Okay, the pressure builds in the Tower, the lid pops off because it's not, I can't withstand it, right? So I'm not seeing necessarily a Tower moment in the sense of everything falling apart, but I am definitely seeing some quaking at the foundation, okay? I'm definitely seeing it. So that's the emphasis on the let's just, you know, cut to the chase and be straight with each other. And that stuck energy is coming from egoic fear and resistance. Okay. So again, very normal energies, especially during an eclipse when like life speeds up and things move fast. And it's not the style of your person to kind of submit to that, but they get there anyway, and that's the good news. So let's take a look, shall we, at the High Priestess. Give me a card for the High Priestess. King of Pentacles. Wow. I'll take another card, please. Chariot and Empress. Yeah, that's nice. And that's Venus's energy and that Empress Divine Feminine energy there. And that feels very supportive. Venus will be moving into the sign of Virgo. So there's a lot of focus on healing, on, getting all the ducks in a row and things being very methodical and deliberate and intentional. And I think your King of Pentacles is going to like that, right? Because it seems like whoever this is likes to do things a certain way and not to be pushed or pressured, but we do get this progress, we do get this forward motion. You kind of come through all the trials and tribulations of the month with flying colors, and it's all based on your own individual but merging together of your intuitive, like your 5D level connection. You know how sometimes things aren't said in 3D, but you think about it so much that it transmits in 5D. You ever have that experience when the other person, like out of the blue, says something that you've been thinking about them every day, you've been thinking about them every night, you've written about it in your journal, you're transmitting something, and it you kind of go like, the minute they say it, you don't know, like, should I say, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, because that's all I've been thinking about. You don't want to jinx it. That's what I'm feeling happens here in week 4, is that all this energy builds, and your connection at 5D, that intuitive inner knowing about where each of you stands in terms of this connection, comes through with flying colors. All supported by, the planet of love and money, honey. It's all about abundance. It's about love. It's about, a healing aspect to it. And it permits you to move forward and to make progress. So that is really super lovely. And that's kind of how we close out the month. I am going to get a card here on the Hierophant, because it's the only one that's bugging me right now. Show me the Hierophant. Right. So, you're ready to take a leap, and your King of Pentacles is going to kind of freak out. You're ready to leap into something more committed, and it doesn't mean that you don't have commitment right now, but whatever you've got, you're going to want something more. And that's why you're kind of like, come on, claim it, do something, make the move, do the thing, and take the leap. But the Fool can also be about risk assessment. And if your person is risk averse and you're not, you got to go with the one who's risk averse. As I always said when I was a psychotherapist, the one who moves the slowest wins. Because you can't force someone to do something they're not ready to do. It's just the truth. And I feel the blessing here is that you get through it. You get the healing. There's the Four of Swords. You get to move on to calmer waters. You get to reconcile anything that might have felt very devastating, or like, something's ending here, blowing up. You could even have a potential mini breakup in the middle of the month. For some of you, it could really happen. But don't sweat it, because that's very normal, especially when we're in the eclipse wormhole, which I'm going to talk about right now. Are we ready? All right. I'm just going to give you the astrological associations for the main cards in this spread. We have the King of Pentacles is Taurus. We have the Lovers here is Gemini, and the Sun is the Sun, which rules Leo. We have the King of Wands is Leo. And we just came through Leo season, so it's not surprising to me in Lionsgate that we still have a lot of that energy floating around here. We've got the Fool, as I said, is the planet Uranus, which rules Aquarius. We have the Hierophant is Taurus. And we have the High Priestess, which is the Moon. And the Moon rules the sign of Cancer. Okay? So those are your astrological associations for the main spread. And now I'm going to talk to you about this powerful month. Are you ready? Okay, let me get my notes. All right, so it's, like I said, still a pretty powerful month. Eclipses bring a tremendous amount of intensity. Saturn in Pisces lightens the atmosphere a bit, and Saturn just made that move, retrograded back into Pisces. Uranus will also retrograde, and that might tighten up the chaos a tiny little bit, meaning lighten it. We also have all of the personal planets changing signs. Mercury is going to change signs twice this month. He's moving like, talk about shot out of a cannon, right? And we also have the autumnal equinox at the end when we move into Libra season. So it's quite a month. Mercury will enter the sign of his rulership on September 2nd, that's tomorrow, where language is precise and our perception gets very detailed for the next 2+ weeks. So that's right here, right? We've got, starting tomorrow, we've got that Mercury moving into Virgo. And, the next 2+ weeks in Virgo, and then right in the middle of eclipse season shifts into the sign of Libra to try to bring some balance. But I get ahead of myself. Anyway, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus all backtrack into their previous signs. So, and that does ease some of the chaos, because it's kind of like we've already been through those planets in those signs. And then when they all moved in July and August, everything has been like nutsy cuckoo. So to have them go back into signs that we were acculturated to, that we, had accommodated for a long time, does kind of calm the chaos down. As I said, Saturn already turned around. Uranus reverses direction on the 5th, marking another shift as this summer's intensity quiets into the fall. There's a full moon in Pisces. That is our first total lunar eclipse. That's going to happen on the 7th. So just as we close out week 1 and we start week 2, boom. That's what's happening right here, is the beginning of the eclipse with the full moon in Pisces. The energy between this and the rest of the month will be intensified by eclipse season, and we call this time being in the wormhole, right? Between the 2 eclipses, you're in the wormhole, which is a physics, I believe, kind of a phenomenon. And it's where consciousness can literally shift in an instant. That's what I think I see happen for this person. You're already there. Got it? You're already, the whole wormhole thing. This person, their consciousness shifts pretty much on a dime. And we also have fated and transformational occurrences. Those can rise up as you move through the next few weeks. All right, so lots of transformational things happen, unexpected pivots, things that are fated and destined, all, for better and for worse, right? There's no indifferent when we talk about eclipse season. Mercury is going to fly through Virgo a little faster than usual and then move into Libra on the 18th, where fairness, balance, and harmony will be the focus of the perception and communication for the next few weeks. So that happens right here between week 2 and week 3 is Mercury moving into Libra, as I said, which does help bring in some balance. It's the only thing that I think keeps the lid on for all of us. Then the following day on the 19th, Venus changes signs, moving from Leo into very precise Virgo, where our emotional body gets a bit of healing, right? That 4 of Swords. And we relate to love and relationship through process, integration. Does that all sound familiar, what I was saying? You get hurt by their process, but it's perfect. It's exactly by design. Process, integration, and the love language will be acts of service. So if you're wondering how can you kind of come through this difficult time where you're looking back saying, what did I, man, did I just screw everything up? No, you didn't. Perform an act of service for your person. Find something you can do that will get their attention and remind them who you are at your core. That will be the love language. Then the new moon in Virgo is the second in this sign. in a row, making it a black moon. And this new moon, at last mastery degree of Virgo, 29 degrees, is also an eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse. So we set healing and organizing intentions for that new moon, right? You're going to want to focus your intentions on healing and getting organized, right? That ducks in a row that I was talking about. And that's on the, what did I say? When is that? Virgo new moon is the 21st. So that's already right at the beginning of week 3 here. As things start to kind of coalesce for your person and you're sitting there looking backward going, oh my God, what have I done? And there's a little bit of stuck energy in the connection. Boom, I said it. There's a breakthrough coming relative to that new moon and that partial solar eclipse. So as I said, it's a month for personal planets changing signs. Mars is going to move into Scorpio on the 22nd. And Mars is all about movement and action and decision making. It's about the body itself. And it's also about the masculine principle of doing, right? Versus the feminine principle of being. So it's a do. And all of that becomes deeply intense and transformational when the planet of action is in the sign of death and rebirth. Okay? And the same day, the 22nd, as that's all happening, the sun changes signs, moves into Libra, and we have one of the major markers of our solar year is the autumnal equinox, where days and nights are equal, and we honor this balance that Libra embodies. And that's it. Everything stops right there on the 22nd, and the rest of the month kind of is smooth sailing for the next 8 or 9 days. So that's what I see is like all the intensity is going to happen here. Starting at the end of the second week, moving into the third week, it kind of ramps up. We get in the wormhole. Things move quick, fast, in a hurry. And process and integration is key, and transformation is key. And then we come out on the other side, and all of this sort of lines up real beautifully. Okay? So I hope that helps. Not a long month of stuff to talk about. I hope it helps. I hope it gives you a sense of what's to come. Please use this. Come back each week. Set it in your calendar with a little timer. That's what I do. I come back. I watch it again. I'm like, okay, I'm on week 2 now. What's going on with this thing? Just to kind of give yourself a little bit of an edge. For those of you, I'm going to do an extended going around the zodiac, Aries through Pisces. For those of you that have any of the memberships, any of the individual memberships, or the month, the all access pass, you already have access to it. Go into your Moments account, right? You need to log into Moments and get to your membership, and then go into all of the collections, and you want to scroll till you get to the monthly energy update collection, and it will be there for you. Everyone else, if you want to see what we're doing, the link to that is below for a one-time extended purchase, okay? But we'd love to have you in the memberships. And what I'll do is I'll go around the zodiac and just kind of see what the month has in store on an individual level. There's smaller mini spreads for each sign. That's what we're doing. The link is below. If you've enjoyed this reading and you haven't yet done so, by all means, please do subscribe below. That's how I get to stay here on this channel and keep bringing you these yummy readings, which I love to do. And I'm really grateful for all the new subscribers that I had last month, and I want to keep that energy going. Okay, let's do this. Thank you so much. I'm headed to the extended. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.